How's it, grade nines? So what we're going on today is equations involving products. In other words, two things multiply by each other. We're working from slides 27 to 34 from the equations PowerPoint. Okay, so basically what's happening here. If we have something like this, A times B equals to 0. So we have a product here where our product is A times B equals 0. Now, when we get something like that, that means that either A will be equal to 0 or B will be equal to 0. So let's have a look at this first statement here. If A is 0, so we've got 0 over here times, now B can be whatever, okay? Let's say, for example, 7. 0 times 7 is 0, okay? So it doesn't make a difference what B is. As long as A is 0, this equation holds. Likewise over here, if B is 0, it doesn't make a difference what A is. A could be whatever. You still have something times 0 equals 0, so the whole thing is 0, okay? And that is how we do it. So, and just out of interest, that's called the golden rule. So if we have a look at an example like this, okay, so if I have to bring it back to this can be our A times B equals 0. So this whole thing here is your A, this whole thing here is your B. Now, in order to solve this, what did we do? We said A is equal to 0. Or B was equal to 0. So what is our A in this case over here? Our A is x minus 5 equals to 0. What is our B over here? It's x plus 11 equals to 0. Now what we can do is we can solve this. This is a nice, easy linear equation. I just take the 5 to the other side, and we get x is equal to 5. So we've solved for x over there. Likewise over here, I take the 11 to the other side, and we get x is equal to minus 11. And we have solved it, okay? If we look at example B, we've got x times x plus 3 equals 0. So we have a product here. We have x times x plus 3 equals 0. So we have that A times B equals 0 situation. So again, A equals 0 or B equals 0. So what is our A in this case? It's just x, so we get x is equal to 0. What is our B in this case? X plus 3 equals 0. This one has already been solved. X is equal to 0, nothing more that we can do with that. So there you go. With this one over here, we've got to take the 3 to the other side, and we get x is equal to minus 3. And we have solved. Okay, looking at example C. Okay, example C is saying x plus 2 squared equals 0. Now, you're probably thinking, well, this is not a product, but it is, because we've got that squared up at the top there. This is saying x plus 2, x plus 2. That's what the squared means. It means we've got two of these things, equals 0. Okay, so we have this product of A times B equals 0. So we have A is equal to 0 or B is equal to 0. Okay, so that means what is our A in this case? It's x plus 2 equals 0, or what's our B in this case? X plus 2 equals to 0. Okay, don't worry that they're both the same. We're going to solve them individually. Okay, so take that to the other side, and we get x is equal to minus 2. Take that to the other side, and we get x is equal to minus 2. Okay, don't worry that they're the same. Just do it like this, okay? And we have solved. Right, now, those are easy examples, okay? what I want to do now is I want to go into solving equations by factorizing. Okay, and you remember what factorization is? Factorization is your common factor, it's your dots, and it's your trinomial. Okay, so we're still going to have a look at the golden rule. So if we look at this first example over here, they're asking us factorize first to create a product of factors, and then we're going to solve it. Okay, so we've got 6x squared minus 4x equals 0. So you remember your factorization, we have common factor, dots, and trinomials. Okay, so let's have a look here. Do we have a common factor? Well, we've got something that's common between 6 and 4, which is 2. And then we've got x squared and we've got x. So an x is common. Take it out. So 2x times what will give us 6x squared? It's 3x. Minus 2x times what will give us 4x? It is 2 equals 0. So we have that product over here where this is a times b equals 0. So you remember we have a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. So what is our a in this case? It's 2x. So we have 2x is equal to 0. Or what is our b in this case? It's this 3x minus 2 equals 0. Okay, so let's have a look at this one to solve for this. This is saying 2 times x. So to get the x on its own, I need to divide by 2. What I do to this side, I do to that side. And we get x is equal to 0 divided by 2 is 0. And we have solved. Over here, I've got to take the 2 to the other side. So we get 3x is equal to 2. To get the x on its own, I have to divide by 3. What I do to this side, I do to that side. These will cancel. And you're left with x is equal to 2 over 3. And we have solved. Okay. Moving on to the next example. We've got 3x squared equals 12. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I can see that I can divide by 3. Okay, 3 is a common factor, and the nice thing about an equals is I can divide by whatever it is to get rid of it. So if I divide that by 3 and divide that by 3, I get x squared is equal to 4. Okay. I'm going to take everything to the one side now, and we get x squared minus 4 equals 0. So you remember our different steps for factorization. We have common factor, dots, and trinomial. Okay, well, the common factor we've kind of sorted out. We got rid of that 3. Let's have a look at dots. That's a squared minus, that's a squared number, so it's definitely dots. So let's factorize our dots. So it's plus, minus. What times what gives you the x squared? It's x and x. What times what gives you the 4? It's 2 and 2. So we have that situation where we have a times b equals 0. So you remember a is equal to 0 or b is equal to 0. So in our case here, our a is x plus 2 equals 0, or our b is x minus 2 equals 0. To solve for this, take that to that side and we get x is equal to minus 2. That's our one solution. Take minus 2 to the other side, we get x is equal to 2, and that's our other solution. Right, grade 9s, I hope that was okay. What I would like you to do is exercise 19.2, numbers 1, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, and 15 for me, please. Thank you.